start with solar rooftop because that's the most popular theme of the day. We had most of the questions around that. And so we'll start with a very basic one. So because a lot of people have starting problem, where do we start when it comes to rooftop solar? How should we go about it? So that's a question. So what are the first practical steps that an apartment association should look for, or how should they go about it when they want to explore solar as a? So question to you, ma'am, and probably then to.
Sir, for the rooftop, first we have to think that why the solar is required. Why the solar is required? See where we are getting the source, how we are bringing the energy from the destination, from the source to destination. This is what we have to learn first. So bringing the energy from long distance to the destination, it's very difficult, and no one will be knowing that why it is, where it is coming, and how it is coming. So when you think of this, the solar energy we have to adapt, that will come to in the lesson. Like adapting the energy with the solar is starting with an application. That is what my submission is. Make an application, how much of energy is required for your association, I mean for your common area, then that will makes you the difference of the requiring of that energy. So make it application for one to the BESCOM or to the utility where you're being done. We have the portal also. So going with the portal, everything is digitalized, no need to come to office also. There you can make an application. What is your energy is required? This is my submission with you, sir.
Thank you. I have a specific question now, which is from one of the societies. So they're saying that we have installed solar in 2020. And however, due to whenever we have BESCOM outages in our locality, even though we produce enough energy throughout the day, we cannot export energy. So can we use solar to synchronize and operate DG in the daytime so that we can save diesel by utilizing solar, whatever is generated on the premise? So would you be able to throw some light on this, ma'am?
Yes, you can do it. You have two types of doing the thing. One is you're using for the solar as a string inverter. The string inverter is always looking towards the grid. So whenever the grid is off, your solar energy will stop. So better if you want to go with the solar, please use the hybrid inverters. So that whenever there is a grid is off, you can use this battery as a reference and it start to generation, solar start to generate. So by the time you can utilize this energy as a backup energy. The other thing, you can connect your solar rooftop along with your generator also. As KERC has already been given a chance to go with a generator, 30% you can utilize the generator energy as well as the solar energy. Again, the solar energy will be sensing towards your generator. So the solar energy start to generate, and you can use the 70% of energy as a solar energy for your backup thing whenever there is a grid is off.
Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah, okay. Not enough is understood of synchronization of solar rooftop with diesel generators. So I think there is some gap.
No, there is a technology that is developed. Like, one switch is there where you can use that switch and you can use that as all vendors will be knowing the thing how to synchronize your solar rooftop along with your generators. So that is the technology.
No, in terms of the associations being able to understand what are the benefits out of it.
Yeah, so that benefits whenever there is a grid off, naturally your solar generation will stop. At that time you can't use the energy which is during the solar daytime. So when you use this generator as a part, when you say that if you want a generator to be utilized, so 30% of the energy can be utilized from the generator as a sensing energy for the solar to develop its energy. So this makes for the apartment common area that can be utilized with this off-grid. Means whenever there is a no grid, they can use the energy of the solar.
And can that be in any way combined with battery storage?
Yeah, of course, you can have that, but at time till today, the Regulatory Commission has not been allowed for BESS or any battery. But you can use the hybrid inverter, where you have a little bit of the battery, not completely to the energy of requirement. It is only for the sensing of the solar to generate the solar energy. That's
okay, all right. So
if you want any awareness of this, how to use this higher generator along with that, we can arrange for that. BESCOM can arrange with one vendor, so that can be help for you to go ahead with this.
that will be really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
So
we will
it
help for that.
Disseminate that information
Yes, sir.
all across.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you, ma'am.
To say that for the rooftop, for the individual household with the apartment, it is not a right thing to put in the balcony. It is not a safety aspects. As a mother, if I am a mother, I wanted to see that my safety with the kids is should not to touch any electrical equipments. So putting an inverter or putting a module in the balcony, it is not a safety as a mother. I should think of as a mother. Later on has a energy satisfaction.
True.
So this is my perception that safety is very much important. Even though you can install the thing, has a regulatory commission leaves the order or it may be given, but safety is very much important.
Absolutely.
As in the thing of the apartment, and whenever there is a fire, this thing, you don't have any safety at all. It's a very congested part. Like, in the
True.
apartment, balcony is
Very
very
true.
congested part. It is not like an individual household you are having.
Correct.
My perception is that don't put in the balcony. Of the
Balcony,
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
That is for the safety thing.
Right.
I don't know how much thing.
True. True.
Thank you.
Very true. So there's
Is that for the fast charger is different. When you have a slow charger, you can allow with a 3.3 kilowatt fast charger, slow charger, where it is very safety and it is very viable also. See, when compared to e-mobility, bringing the diesel or a petrol from a lengthy area, way of the thing,
right.
you have it at your right place. Why can't you use your EV chargers? So allow them to use the EV chargers at the space. Let them use it with a low kilowatt, not with a higher fast chargers.
Okay.
Slow charger is very safety and also it is very easy accommodated. And we also displayed the EV charger in our BESCOM stall also. You can see that it is very easy and it is easily mounted on the wall also. So with the if you want a safety, you have fire extinguishers also. Like, it doesn't catch the fire at all. My this thing. So please allow them to use this. Only association is making a thing that not to use by the individual consumers. Let them use it. What is there any hurdles that you're facing with individual people for using an EV charger at their space? No, nothing.
I would suggest that the apartment owners association or Bengaluru Federation, they may take up this subject with the fire department, and in consultation, in coordination with the BESCOM's advice, so they may allow. They will have to take it up with the concerned.
So my thing is 3 kilowatt, 3.3 kilowatt is very smaller thing.
Hello, that's
it is just like a load of a household.
That's okay, but they are not allowing. They are actually
That's what
restricting.
you should make it a
You will
broad way.
have to convince
Yes.
the department, fire department, that this is safe. So for that, you need the assistance of BESCOM to
Yeah.
convince them.
We are here to help you. That anytime if you call, sir, we are there to help the thing.
Right. So I think thank you for your volunteering to help us in kind of taking this further. So we will definitely make use of that. So, there is also this thing, especially in the larger apartments, which are existing apartments. Newer, it is easier, but larger apartments where there is a lot of back-end electrical infrastructure which has to be expanded to kind of give support individual EV connections to the places. Across different places, whether we talk about basements or even in the ground level. So how does that, is there any kind of suggested way from BESCOM on how the reworking of the electricals can be done, because these are all pre-existing things?
Sir, so first we'll check the site condition, how it is, then we can give the plan for that.
Okay.
Each individual site we will check, because at this area we can't say that this will be the correct solution or this is the solution. We'll
Okay.
check the site condition. According to the site condition, we'll give the plan.
Okay.
So that will be better, I think.
So when an association approaches
Yeah.
BESCOM,
Yeah.
so you
If
can-
possible, the existing infrastructure can be shifted to somewhere else,
Okay.
and this can be accommodated there.
Okay.
So within the existing facility only, we need to do these things.
Right.
So this can be done.
Yes.
Sure.
Please allow to use the electric vehicle and also the charger. Without this thing, you can't make an e-mobility in India. So please help in the people to let them use the EV chargers in their apartment. In their space that is given by the association.
So I think there is a recent gazette of 2024 where the EV charging guidelines of 2020 have been amended, by Ministry of Power, and then it is either one common connection for the entire society to be given from the for the association, or individual owners. It cannot be a hybrid of the two. So that's a little restrictive if the association does this on a community level, and some people want to kind of have their individual connections.
Those are in draft stage, I think.
I think
Those are not
2024
finalized,
it has, the Gazette has come out. So I don't know whether it is implemented, not implemented.
BESCOM
Has it distribution licensee, we have to say that, sir, we will follow the regulatory commission given orders or the condition of supply or for arranging the power supply. Once the regulatory commission changes, that is all in the draft, I think. Once the commission says this is the thing, how we have to go according to the grid facility that is within the state of Karnataka, we have to follow that. Because at the lower voltage level, we have to follow the condition of supply of the regulatory commission.
Got it. So just as a thumb rule for people who are trying to kind of work out for an existing facility, existing building, what would be the ideal EV charging capacity to plan for, let's say, a 200 apartment unit society, 500 up to 1,000 kind of thing? What would be a rough way? Because I know it is growing very rapidly. It also depends on how much incentives are given or taken away in budget. So there has been some changes recently as well. So what would be the right way of going about it for a planning, at least with a 3 to 4 year kind of a window, because it's very difficult to kind of for an association to reinvest every year, right, on this.
Okay, you want to establish your charger, right?
Yeah. So what would
in
be
the apartment?
Correct.
Like if you want a, I'll submit with you that if you want to invest by the association is one part.
Right.
Otherwise, if you want any charge operators to be invest in your apartment is the other part. If you, I'll tell you one model. If you want to go according to your association will invest on the EV charger. Then you have to make a plan for the 4-wheeler as well as for the 2-wheeler. The 4-wheeler now at a present is CCS2, which is the fast charger. That will around 60 kilowatt load, and the slow charger you can use with the 12 kilowatt for the 2-wheelers and all. So you want to make a space for the 2 4-wheelers, means one charger will have 2 guns. Okay. If you want to off one charger, if it is 200, this thing as per the CEII. If you have a 200, I mean 40 people are using EV vehicle, one charger has to be there in their area.
200,
yeah, no, for 40.
Okay.
Now when you compare, like, more than 200, 300 people who have a EV chargers, I mean EV vehicle, we have only one EV charging stations. So this is the concept. Like if you have a 40 people are there in your apartment using an EV vehicle, make one charger in your apartment. That is enough. 60 kilowatt of load. That is having 2 guns.
Okay.
And 40 cars.
40
This
cars.
is how you have to make an idea of that. And the other who are using the 12, I mean, so 2-wheeler, that can be used with the 12 kilowatt. That is enough.
Again with 2 guns.
Yeah, two guns.
Okay.
That if you have more than 100 2-wheelers, you can use 2. That is enough.
Okay.
This is the plan. You have to make it. The one model is your investment. The other model is if you want to invest by the CPOs, like charge point operators.
Right.
We are the nodal agency. BESCOM is a
Okay.
nodal agency. We are also a nodal agency as well as the CPOs also.
Okay.
So we also establish EV charging stations
Okay.
also. So one thing is, if the CPO is want to establish the EV charger in your apartment, we have another portal called the land aggregator portal, where you can say that this is my land. I have this much of land. You can come and place your charger. We make a facility. BESCOM will make a facilitator has to use your land by the CPOs.
Okay.
At the revenue sharing model. So you will have a revenue sharing model of minimum of 1 rupee as per MOP. That for per unit you will be given as a rent basis.
So does that mean that it has to be open to non-residents also, or it should be?
So that is left to your association.
Oh, that's open. Okay. All right.
If the people wants to go with your business, if you want a business, you can leave the outside people.
Okay.
There is no mandatory that
Yeah, I
it
think
should
for
be.
smaller societies that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
For larger societies, they would have enough.
They don't
people
leave you
using-
outside
Right.
people, right?
True.
And
true,
it is
true.
also safety also.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
No, that's a great thing. Okay. Just because again a starting block challenge. So how to select a reliable EV charging vendor? So Uma ma'am, you talked about 2 models, right? So One is, I mean, these are, I think people will be more comfortable to coming to BESCOM and they're setting it up rather than going to one vendor, not knowing whether they would be there tomorrow or not, because there are a lot of startups in the game, right? So what would you recommend there?
That's what I told you, no? If you want to invest, that is the safety thing. If you invest by the association, that will be very easy to handle also, to make an AMC also. Like, O&M is very much is required. There will be some failure also, that you can use your OEMs for repairing the thing. That is my suggestion or my submission with you, that go with your association partners only, not with other CPUs.
Right.
Like, that makes you, like, as a part of the association, you have to think the safety of your association.
Absolutely. Then we come to the financing part of it. Now this is a roadblock. I mean, because these are not, profit earning kind of institution, right? So because it's basically for the maintenance that the association collects money. Now, when it comes to a large capex like a solar rooftop, so they have challenges of where to put in get the investment from. Are there any green investment at a subsidized rate which we could look for, or kind of?
PM Surya Ghar is there for RWA, 18,000 per kilowatt.
That's a subsidy.
Subsidy.
But in terms of the investment itself.
You have to search
Every
the
bank is offering.
No, sir, they're not giving for the
Hello,
association.
That's the challenge.
Association,
They want the
for association
association members to be personally liable for that loan.
Oh, yes.
So, which not many people are willing to
Correct,
sign.
because you are not owning that this facility.
No, one thing in Bombay they have done, sir, like they have made an MOU between the partners in the association. MOU is done that whatever the maintenance charges has coming from the apartment, that will be given as an EMI for the bank loan, by signing by individual people. So that MOU, that if they become any defaulter on those things, some condition have been put. If the becomes a apartment association become a default in paying this amount for the bank lenders for the individual thing, then so much of charges will be given, I mean so much of amount will be given to the individual consumer, like the individual association who has signed for the bank loan. See, if I am a individual consumer of an association, I will sign on my behalf that I'll I'll take a loan and I'll give to the association. So for that, one MOU has been done from the Bombay Federal Association. You can check it with that, so that you can get the loan for individual as an individual consumer.
I see. Because this remains a large starting block for many
This
people.
is what we have last year, what we have read from in this thing.
Okay.
One MOU is done. I can share you that glimpse of that if you want.
That will be helpful, I mean, so that we can at least start discussions. The next point is that why...
I want to add one point in that, why it is lesser tariff, 3.08, when compared to the retail supply of the BESCOM, correct?
Right.
See, we will make a PPA, power purchase agreement, which is very for 25 years, considering that you are my consumer. You want an energy, I have to give you energy.
Right.
So where I have to get the energy from? I have to get from other source, like KPCL or from the central. As sir told, you have to bring the energy from such a long distance to here to reach out to you. So what is the transmission line?
So T&D losses.
T&D loss. What is how the investment is going on? What is the power purchase agreement? What is the unit of per unit? So this makes my retail supply tariff to C&I or to you is 5 rupees or 6 rupees
So
or
the
7
differential
rupees.
is there.
That is the difference. What about the solar energy? Where you're generating? You're generating in your house. You're giving into the grid, which is next to you only. You're not bringing any transmission line.
Anyway.
No loss, nothing, distributed energy. Then why the comparison of this energy cost to that energy cost? It is completely different. That's what I'm telling you. Solar, at the later stage of your kids or your forthcoming family, that should be concentrated with your solar only, not with your fossil energy or the energy which is coming from away from our state. So my consideration with this type of comparing should be stopped. Like, don't compare your solar energy with the other source of energy.
Got it.
So 3 rupees 08 paisa, has sir told, it is a capital cost of your investment. For that, you have to get a return for that. You have to consider this as an utilization of energy, not as a business.
I fully agree with her, and also I fully agree with the 𝗕𝗵𝗿𝗀 who pointed out initially that it should be aimed for self-consumption.
Exactly. It is not for
Not
selling.
for, not for, commercial.
So
yeah.
size it right is
Yeah,
important.
Yeah, that's why. So we have to, self-sufficient first. So for us only that is beneficial. Otherwise, that is there. Whenever there is no requirement for me to use that energy in the house or in the commercial industrial establishment, I can sell it to BESCOM. That is allowed. Okay. Only excess energy goes to that. But primarily that is useful for my self-consumption to reduce my cost. The electricity bill, I have to reduce that electricity bill. Yeah, that is the requirement.
True.
Yeah.
Correct. So starts installing the EV chargers with available capacity of transformer and sanctioned load. Who will take the responsibility for additional load beyond the sanctioned transformer capacity and beyond the sanctioned load?
See, everyone all are going with EV chargers. First question. Yes, if it is 10 years, it may require.
Right.
At that time, many changes will be there, many regulatory aspects will be there. At present, if 5 to 6 load has come, like 3.3 kilowatt ka, that is very nominal. That is very with the load of the each individual house, 3 kilowatt load. So that doesn't require any transformer you are putting it your diversity factor of 1.5 with the diversity factor, then the transformer will be within that limit only. At present, it doesn't come.
Is there any guideline as to what should be the diversity applied before what?
Diversity means for residential loads, all the loads will not come at a time.
Right.
Simultaneous use is not there.
Absolutely.
So therefore, we have fixed that 1.5.
1.5.
Correct.
Okay.
So if there is 150 kVA load is there,
Right.
100 kVA transformer is sufficient to take up that load.
Okay.
So for commercial and industrial, the diversity is, it is always running. So therefore, it is one only. So therefore, as Uma said, so we can definitely take care of these loads if they are coming progressively at a slower rate. 3.2 means within the sanction load of the existing building for individual houses. It can be because mostly the vehicles will be charged during the night. The same load, which is actually sanctioned for a building. So it is sufficient to take care of that. We have allowed that also.
Right.
Yes. So if you want additional connection to the existing residential connection, then you require additional load. It will actually load the transformer, distribution transformer.
Right.
Even if it is coming, in a distribution
Capacity 60 kilowatt load, and then if you're going with a capacity 60 kilowatt load, and then if you're going with a number of 120 kilowatt load, then you have to concentrate on that. How much we have to take the transformer capacity. And that load analysis also will be done by BESCOM only. We will analyze that what is the load.
And then you will guide the.
Yeah, we'll guide.
No, that's nice. That's great.
Most of the apartment owners. Correct. Most of the apartments, they have actually developed, and also at their cost only this infrastructure has been built. So they are actually developed that infrastructure at their cost. So usually they, inflate that, capacity at the beginning of, application itself. If my requirement is, 100 kVA, I am, going to put up some 200 kVA transformer there. It is put up by you only, the apartment owners only.
But if you look at the demand, it might be lower.
That capacity is always there.
Right.
Even that is, charged during night only. Night, the transformer is not loaded much. It is only security lighting in the apartment. So therefore, you have sufficient, capacity available to take care of these, loads.
Right. The next one is regarding a fast charger. For installing a fast charger, should the RWA obtain a separate power line sanction for it, or can they do it with the current sanction power line? Yes.
For the association, yes, 60 kilowatt load, that's what I'm telling. 60 kilowatt load, if your transformer is 100 kVA, then 100 kVA is only, it is designed for your apartment, individual consumers, and as well as for the association for the common area. So when it is added with the 60 kilowatt load, Again, you have to enhance your transformer capacity, and for the distribution system, we will check. And it means before the point of connection is our distribution transformer.
Right.
We will check according to our condition required.
Okay. But for LT6 connection, there would be a separate transformer.
Yeah, LT6, no, not like that. LT6, if you want with a meter, will be LT6.
Okay.
Only for the meter thing, you will be have it designated.
So no need of investing in any other infrastructure.
That's what I told you. If you have an 100 kVA transformer in your apartment,
Right.
if the 60 kilowatt load is coming
Within
additional thing, then you have to increase your transformer capacity.
Right. But if it is within that,
Not required.
not required, but you would still be able to.
Yes, that we will check that whether it is required with the enhancing of the transformer.
Got
the
it.
meter will be different, LT6.
Okay.
But for separate connection, it is for a separate connection.
Right.
So the BESCOM officer or engineer will come and inspect that. He will check the feasibility, whether it is possible to connect additionally this meter
Right.
with 60 kilowatt or 80 kilowatt.
Right.
If the existing infrastructure supports that, then you may not require enhancement of that distribution
Got it,
transformer
sir.
itself.
Got it.
Otherwise, it has to be enhanced. That is
Yep.
even at your cost only.
Right. Right.
Or if you want an individual.
No, space is already there. Existing transformer is already there, replacing that with a higher capacity. Space is sufficient. Yeah. Really. CIG approval is required because once the transformer, new equipment is added, because CIG is the, safety keeper as per CEA regulations. So therefore, his compliance, his, safety regulations have to be complied with. Therefore, you need that only before commissioning of that. Correct. Whenever you actually enhance the transformer, that means replacing the existing transformer, lower capacity transformer with a higher capacity transformer, then also you require the permission of the chief electrical inspector, because he has to come and see whether all the safety guidelines and regulations have been complied with. So therefore, before that, you cannot charge that transformer.
Sir, another model
Excuse me.
Huh.
Suppose 40, 50 individual owners pull their own wiring from the meter for EV charging. Is CIG approval required?
No. That we have made it very clear in our order that 𝗧𝗵𝗿 knows it, Only safety, because we have also said in the order that CIG let him, take care of this, safety aspects. So, but he wrote back that, as per CEA guidelines, if it is taken care of, then we need not have to come and check again. So, individually, if electrical contractor, they are actually authorized to give a safety certificate. That is test certificate they will give. So, it is enough. Only higher equipment, that is transformer is being replaced, then only the required this CIG approval. Otherwise, no.
Right.
I want.
It is already there. It is already there. SOP clearly says that. Please go through it. BESCOM, it is available on the BESCOM website. Everything is clear. Only we should find time to read it.
Right.
Sir, I want to add one more thing that completes the thing. When the CPO install this, other than the association, CPO will come and install 60 kilowatt load of the transformer,
Right.
charger. Then the concept is different.
Okay.
Whether you allow him to go with your transformer or to separate transformer, that depends on you.
Okay.
Because it is a business mode. Because he's coming and installing his EV charger.
Right.
That is the under type of the business mode. So that it is required, and you have to follow
So
the
is there
regulatory
any guideline available on this piece somewhere on the BESCOM side which people can read?
Yeah, of course.
There is
Everything
on
is
this
yeah,
model?
website is there.
There
yeah.
is. Okay.
That's what I told you, the land aggregator portal, you can
Right.
check it out. Everything
Okay.
is there.
Okay. A few questions on the policy and regulatory matters. Now we are seeing that DCR and ALMM compliance is kicking in, right, which requires all modules and cells to be of Indian manufactured, and this is to be followed from 1st June 2026. And this is increasing project cost by about 10 to 15%. That's what people are seeing, and that is the reason a lot of people are actually hesitating. Should we Are costs going to go down a bit before we, or should we wait, because 10 to 15% increase in project cost is quite a bit. So where do you see this? I mean, do you see this kind of, because I think there is still a lot of demand and supply gap in terms of, readiness of infrastructure to be.
Yes, sir. It is the government's intention to, go for DCR modules, because they want to actually promote the local industry, indigenous industry. So they have kept the deadline as June 1. Yeah. But lot of requests have gone to the central government.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have to see whether they will extend this or not.
Okay.
I'm not sure, because so many times, this was extended. So this time whether
They may not.
I don't know, because based on the request, based on the necessity, they may also do it. But it is purely the central government's decision. We cannot comment on that.
Right. Okay. Next is on the virtual net metering, which came up in the discussions. So what are as per this, on the recent guidelines, how can, because until now basically the association for the common area gets benefit of the solar being generated, right? So now even individual apartment owners can volunteer. It's not a mandatory thing, but they can actually co-sign onto this agreement and can take advantage of this net metering thing, right? Virtual net metering.
You actually cleared it. Uma may not agree. But as far as the KERC is concerned, domestic consumers are allowed.
Okay.
So if they are living in the apartments, she is telling because of the practical aspects.
Okay.
Technical
Sir,
aspects,
I'll tell you
practical
why,
aspects.
sir
Okay.
is,
So domestic consumers are allowed, and group housing societies are allowed, virtual net metering. Then government buildings are allowed. Okay. So educational institutions, that too government installations are allowed.
Okay.
So they have to come together. Some domestic consumers, if there are 3 to 4 consumers anywhere within the jurisdiction of BESCOM, they should come together. So they have to put up solar plant to their combined sanction load. If I have 3 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, 5 consumers coming into together, 15 kilowatt. So 15 kilowatt plant I can put up anywhere, not only on the roof, but also any place, not
Off-site as well.
off-site also.
Okay.
So that can be put up, no problem in it. So okay. So that energy generated from that plant is credited to their individual accounts. So if there is excess energy after calculation of this, okay, then it will be paid by the distribution company at the tariff fixed by the commission.
Right.
That is almost 75% of the solar tariff that is fixed for that. Okay. So if there is actually net drawal from the grid, as per the retail supply tariff, they will have to pay. So this is the simple, and also they came out with SOP also. We have also approved.
Okay.
So that is there. Anything extra, she will actually intervene and tell.
Okay.
yeah, I'll tell you that one small thing. I'll get you the answer from yourself. Virtual net metering or a virtual plant is like, if you don't have any space, you're making a plant somewhere else,
Right.
off the location,
Off-site,
then you're making. So here it is rooftop. The first thing is, has the apartment for a individual household consumer, whether the roof is available or it is enmarked
Space is
with your
available.
enmarked within your agreement that the roof is this much roof is for you. Whether it is enmarked, no. No roof is allowed for each individual consumers in the agreement. So they are not the roof owners. When you come with a virtual net metering, the definition says if you don't have any space on the roof, you can go virtually to install your plant. When the roof is not allowed to the individual consumer, how they can go with a virtual net metering? That's what I was submitting with 𝗕𝗏 sir also. This is the concept, why we are not allowing for the each individual household for this rooftop.
Okay. So it is
Roof
not
is
allowed
not
yet.
they don't have any ownership in the agreement.
You had a perspective on that. So what was that?
Let me go by the rules of KERC. I have a perspective wherein the solution is there, in both ways. So the distributed solar policy provides for this virtual net metering. That is first point. Second point is it also allows for you to put anywhere in the complex. So it is not necessarily the roof. So all the common areas of the apartment, which includes the roof, which includes your ground area at elevated 8 feet or any other place, belongs to the association. If the deed is transferred by the builder, okay, subject to that clause, if the deed is transferred by the builder, it belongs to the association. So for virtual net metering, how do you calculate the total capacity? So the rule is that it cannot exceed your sanctioned load, demand maximum, but sanctioned as per the meter. So if I have a 50 kVA sanctioned load for the common area meter, if I have, and they also allow for 3 kilowatt maximum per house. Even if you have a 5 kilowatt connection, the restriction is up to 3 kilowatt. So if there are 100 flats, it is 300 kilowatt. Plus common area, 50 kilowatt. Plus EV charging, 60 kilowatt. Subject to again transformer, I'm not getting into that part of it. That is separately there, but if your sanctioned is there. So you can go up to that. So your common area, you are only saving 50 kilowatt. But what happens to the other 300 people? So this is where the association role is important, because association is owning that land. Association owns the rooftop. Association owns everything. Association in a general body has to pass a resolution of who all are involved and eligible and want to participate in the virtual net metering. That is the legal way of going about it. Because the legality is in question with BESCOM, which is correct, because you don't own the rooftop. So association permits you. And how does the association permit? That's the next question. So you may have an apartment where somebody has a 3 kilowatt sanction load, somebody 5 kilowatt sanction load, somebody 2 kilowatt sanction load. So association goes by the participation level. Either they charge a fee for it, or they go by the sanction load for it, or they go by the maximum billing for it. So it is an association decision. It has got nothing to do with BESCOM and KERC. Association plays a role. Once you work out that signed document of every individual member of the apartment association, that signed document is a valid legal document for getting into virtual net metering. So that is my interpretation. That is one way of looking at it. But that is one interpretation, because we checked on how do you interpret it, because it is subject to interpretation. But the association works only on the bounded by its members. So if the members are signing off, that is one. So you have excess capacity other than the common area. So you share it in the proportion you decide. That is rule. Third is they set the cluster. So you can do from outside also. So you are outside, but again you are bound by the other wheeling banking, if not, or the retail power and all, that comes. The third solution I mentioned, which is not discussed here, is the BESS. Which is again not discussed here, is the BESS.
Or maybe bring it down a little bit.
Maybe this mic has a problem.
Oh, is it? We changed it.
Yeah, so the third solution, so one is virtual net metering. Second, as I said, you get into the cluster, you get from outside the wheeled power. The third solution is BESS. I don't know whether you have a question on that, but I keep on repeating that. BESS is nothing but battery energy storage system without the hybrid part. A hybrid includes battery, and you're allowed to export without the battery power, but it goes under net metering. But battery power is never allowed to be exported. Neither diesel power nor battery power. So BESS is without any of that, so it cannot export. But you can absorb the surplus energy coming in from the solar export. And there you are paid at the retail, you save on the retail tariff if I use it at night. So why are you even saying that my tariff should be increased? I would suggest KERC should not increase that tariff. That is my reading of it, because see, they are responsible for the whole city. They are not responsible for one individual apartment. But then apartment people can definitely invest. If you want to save money, you definitely invest, work out the payback. And if you put in energy storage, I'm giving a thumb rule calculation. Today, Government of India, 1st April 2026, under the Income Tax Act, Section 32 has been amended to bring in BESS also under the same depreciation benefit, accelerated depreciation as solar. It is added. You are getting the same accelerated depreciation as solar. So why are you worrying about all these costs and this and that? I feel that any payback which is less than 4 to 5 years, as on today, if you see the track record, BESCOM tariffs are increasing every year 5 to 7%. Right? You can't prevent that. That is also the inflation also. You can prevent diesel costs going up, but you can control what you have. So why we keep on looking at BESCOM should provide me this or KERC should be providing me this? I am not a votary at all of keeping on looking at the government. Why do you buy a car if you don't want to use public transport? Because of convenience. This is also a convenience. You want to save your bill, otherwise please go and pay BESCOM, whatever tariff they charge. So my suggestion is look at it differently. Use this virtual net metering, use solar, use energy storage. Again, I don't know whether you have a topic at all on that because we never discussed till now, but use energy storage towards future, because that is one of the points of this forum, which I understood was how do I mitigate future? 3 points of future are not discussed today, though we have the senior people from BESCOM and KERC. If not now, next year or the year after, TOD will come to Karnataka. There is no choice. Now 500 kilowatt and above HT only is having TOD. Kerala, I'm giving an example, has put TOD for residential. Evening 6 to 10, they have already implemented. Why? It is a smaller state, maybe they cannot absorb those costs. Maharashtra, different policy. Maharashtra have said, if you are generating in net metering, this includes apartments by the way, if you are generating under net metering and you do not consume the same day, the generated power, somebody mentioned install net metering only to the extent you require it. You are not allowed to carry forward to the next day. There is no carry forward or settlement. The settlement is the same day. At that time, again, you will all go and appeal to BESCOM and KERC. See, this is a society which is running and you have to manage finances. So if the finances are not managed, you have to do. So find your own solution. That is why I keep on saying this is there. So future proofing of TOD, which will happen. Future proofing the challenges of a distribution transformer. Already BESCOM has mentioned you have to invest on a distribution transformer. If you have got enough money to invest on a distribution transformer, why don't you invest on energy storage? So that is an easier solution, wherein they don't have an issue. CIG approval is required even if you put BESS. Let me clarify that. Safety, any electrical installation in a public area or anything requires a CIG approval. So you have to go by that. So put it as a combination of this solution. I don't see a reason of always cribbing saying that the costs are going up. It will go up. That is the law of nature. So as an apartment, and most of the people are apartment owners, there are solutions available. Look at the collectively as a solution. KERC have done a very good job. I don't know how many people have even read. As he correctly mentioned, go through our website. They have not even read their distributed energy this policy. They have changed the definition from rooftop. We still talk about rooftop. I think the terminology to be used in this meeting should be distributed solar PV, not rooftop solar PV. That's my submission.
On new session on this was there is a cap of 500 kilowatt in terms of where the subsidies can be given, and that applies to a small society as well as to a large society. We recently had one of our member associations where they have 3,000 apartments, that L&T South City. They also had this cap of 500. So is that not limiting?
Sir, MNRE has given the subsidy till 500 kilowatt. So we approached MNRE also to enhance this from 500 to 1000 kilowatt. So MNRE has said that is a midterm. We will check it and we are trying.
That is under consideration.
Yeah, under consideration. Okay. We are trying, and this year maybe we request once again. We already requested so many times. During any meeting times, we will request our joint secretary also, and we'll come with that.
Right. Thank you.